This image might look familiar, but guess what? He's just as frustrated to this day right now, and it's not just the tush push. How are they going to take care of business against the Giants coming up right now on RGR? Welcome in, everybody. It's nice to see you. We are going to do our normal Friday thing, but we're doing it live this time. So if you're catching this on replay, just know we're going to try to do these live whenever possible. It won't always be a recording, and we like to spend a little bit of Friday night with you guys. For those of you who are under Friday night lights, I'm about to go to a high school football game myself. I know that it's not always that easy, but, Dan's in Ohio now, so, there's all kinds of football going on. How you hanging in, pal?
I'm not doing okay, guys. I'm not doing okay. The transition to East Coast is awful. It sucks. Let's just be very honest about it. It sucks. I hate it. And it's not just me that hates it. My baseball team hates it because the Tigers have sucked ever since I moved here. So it's no fun right now with the sports world. But we're about to see how the Chiefs get back on track on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, I mean, and that's going to be the best part. I really think this is the opportunity to kind of set it all right. I do feel like they're finally annoyed with being underachievers. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just the perception that I'm getting. And that's honestly what needs to turn it around. They have to decide to actually stop this crap. I thought Creed really said some things that made me stand out. It made me nod my head quite a bit this week when he was like, yeah, we're this far. The line between how we're playing now and how we are to be a good football team is not that thick. We can get there. Nice to see you guys. Gary's in the house. Brenda's in the house. FLDB's in the house. Nevis, a bunch of our folks. And Danny, you've been in here for a while, over half an hour. So cheers to you. Nice to see you all. We'll take a question or two probably, but really we're trying to run through what they got to get done to get the job done. And that's what it comes down to. So without further ado, don't let me delay you at all. What's on your mind, number one?
So I know that we've spent the entire week talking about the run game, and I'm not starting at the run game because I think that the defense got back on track in some way last week, but there's a little bit more to it than that because the number one guy, Chris Jones, has not played up to Chris Jones' standard this season. I know it's only 2 games. I understand all that, but he's mad not just because the Chiefs are losing, but because he's not doing enough. He's not being the big enough part of the defense as he can be. And to that point, this is a scatter plot of pass rush grades, guys. You got one. So let me go out here. Interior lineman pass rush.
I would theorize this is a scatter plot of pass rush mediocrity. Sorry.
Right now it is, because you can see up here in the top right, you got Christian Barmore all by himself. You got Dexter Lawrence, Sexy Dexy up here. You've got DJ Reader down over here. But this is where Chris Jones is. You guys, the left-hand side over here is pass rush win rate. Up here at this line, 20%. Down here is the double team rate. Okay, so Chris Jones is mediocre. He's mediocre. Okay. This is what's happening right now. He's not able to win as much. Usually we see Chris Jones up here. This is usually where Chris Jones is because he gets double teamed a lot and he has pass rush win rate success. So that's what we're seeing right now. And Chris Jones is one of the problems, unfortunately, with what's going on, because the pass rush has been bad. Yes, but it runs through Chris Jones. Chris Jones is the focal point. And to that end, this year, Chris Jones has only had about 17% of his snaps come at the edge, so at defensive end. But I believe 7 out of 8 of them have come on third down. So he's playing defensive tackle pretty much predominantly on early downs because they need him in run defense. But also when he does go out there on third down, he's not generating enough pressure. I think he has 1 pressure this year on defensive from defensive end, which isn't great. However, when we talk about the New York Giants, they are one of the top offensive lines that give up pressures, 5th in the NFL in quarterback pressure percent, according to Next Gen Stats. 41.1% of the time they give up a pressure. And I know they're going to get their left tackle back on Sunday Night Football, which I think he's going to play.
Sorry,
Andrew. I personally think he's going to play. It's just what it is. But this has got to be interior. Get after Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson under pressure this year. I know I'm talking a lot, guys, but I have a lot to talk about. Under pressure this year has been really, really bad. I know it's only 2 games. Completion percentage drops to 40.7%, negative 6.7 completion points over expected. So not good. said negative 17 EPA, 3.13 time to throw, which helps because the Chiefs don't get pass rush anywhere else. So if you can get to him, that's it. It's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go back to your graphic. I want to point something else out.
Yeah.
These are the little things that pop out in my brain when I see this stuff. And first, these two metrics. Oh, hell.
1 second. Just give me a second. You keep talking. I got you.
All right. These two graphics represent two parts of the game that are absolutely linked. They are cause and effect. When you get single block pass rush pressure, it automatically ups the volume of your double teams. If you are an inside pass rush specialist like Chris Jones is, when you are getting pressures, you get more doubles. When you don't get doubles, you should be getting more pressures. And that's what's not happening here. And this is tough. This might be an age thing. It might be a slow start thing. It might be the fact that Chris is trying to get everybody else to pull their oar, but you see where he is, right down the middle, barely above midline in terms of pressure rate. I just want to point out a couple of things. For those of you that ride with us in the off season and we tell you about guys that you want to make sure that you're paying attention to, Milton Williams way up at the top. You see him in terms of what that pressure rate looks like. That's coming through. Madubuike, I think we were both over there. The guy that I wanted from Texas that they didn't draft, it took him a couple years. And the reason that I point out Moro Jomo is because for this very reason, for everything that you're hoping for George Karlaftis, he's starting to come around. For Ashton Gelati, starting to come around. You have to invest in the youth on the defensive line because sometimes it takes him a couple of years. Just like the offensive line is not always ready to jump in and go. Not everybody's Jalen Carter, okay?
Yeah.
Jalen's just, he's got an edge to him and he's a unique specimen, but you have to continue to invest, and that's what the Chiefs have not done. And that's why I think, Dan, that they find themselves in this particular dilemma that, yes, they added a couple of edges in Karlaftis and now Gelati, but nothing inside to try to generate pass rush, which we know is the only thing they care about because they don't stop the run. It all comes back to it. And if you're not with us in the offseason, this is why you should be, because it all comes back to that.
Yeah, just to further the point, guys, in terms of pass rush pressures created this year, just among defensive linemen, the Chiefs don't have a pass rusher inside the top 30. They don't have one. Okay. George Karlaftis is sitting at 31 with 6 pressures on the year. So over 2 games, he has 6 pressures. And again, it doesn't get better from there. Chris Jones does not show up here, guys. Like, he's just not there. So it's not great for the Chiefs right now in generating pass rush up the middle. So you have to find different ways to do that. And when you're in a rut, 0-2, you play 2 good offensive lines. I don't think that the Chargers was a great offensive line, but apparently they were coached very well. But the effort wasn't really there, and wasn't really there in week 1. It was better in week 2, but a better offensive line. This is not a good offensive line. It's not. It's objectively a bad offensive line. I liked Marcus Bow coming out of Purdue, but he's a rookie. You're going to be able to get him with power for sure. But everywhere else, even their injured left tackle is coming back. You're going to be able to get some different looks this week, and you have to get right this week. You have to.
Yeah, there is no option. Sorry for the sneeze there, folks. Sometimes they just kind of sneak up on me.
They just do that.
I appreciate you guys, and thank you for your support. We're going to get to your super chats. So if job number 1 is the interior pass rush, which I absolutely believe, because Russ ain't going to run away from you, it is the opposite on the other side of the ball. The guards have to settle down. I am not the only one that was disappointed in both guard performances. Not that they were make or break, but they were both subpar. I thought Chase Daniel did a very good job breaking down a couple of details that I didn't point out. And if you want that from the quarterback's point of view, go check him out. Chase has been in this offense, and I think that makes a difference as well. I expect Trey Smith to raise his game. I think Kingsley Suamataia can. He did a couple of better things, and so we're slowly gaining momentum here. But this game's going to be one on the edges. And I got to tell you, job number 1 on the offense for me is both the tackles being able to live up to what they're capable of. And I'm less confident in Juwan Taylor than I am in Josh Simmons. Where are you?
As long as the penalties, I think, stay away for Juwan Taylor, I think he'll be good. Because he's we've talked about this, guys. When the penalties aren't there and he's not getting in his own head, I think he's a fine player. Obviously, you can still take advantage of it, but we have tape from him one-on-one with Aiden Hutchinson at his full strength, and he was really good. He was really good that game against the Lions. So I think that there's good football in there. The problem is he gets in his head all the time. That's why we don't really know what he's going to put out there. This is going to be the very first test for Josh Simmons. Like real test, legit. Are you going to be able to deal with speed off the edge? Because that's what they're going to bring. They're going to bring Kayvon Thibodeau. They're going to bring Abdul Carter. They're going to bring Brian Burns. It is a wave of fast speed to power guys, and you got to be able to hold up on your own because everywhere else in the middle has to deal with Dexter Lawrence and Josh Simmons. You're going to be left out to dry tonight on Sunday night. If just because Andy Reid needs to get the ball out, ball has to come quick. Maybe you get a chip here, maybe you get a help there from a tight end. But you got to be able to hold up on one-on-one with these edges. And if you don't, it's going to be a long night for Patrick Mahomes.
And I'm going to warn you too. After watching the Eagles film again, they're going to get some blitz up the middle. It's going to be delayed. It's going to be coffee house. It's going to be disguised to all get out, but it's going to come up the middle. Because what you saw last week. And it's not just on Kingsley. It's as much on Trey as it is on Kingsley in terms of not recognizing where that pressure is going to come from. Now, good actors are good actors. Okay, I give you credit for keeping it disguised. But you got to take that up a level. It was plain to me that while it was a little bit better, it still is not regular season level. It is still guys lagging behind. And while I generally do agree that there is what is it? 5 now Super Bowl hangovers in terms of what it does to you, your grind on the next season. We're past that. That's over. You can't use that as an excuse anymore. You have got to get ready. So you got to put your money where your mouth is and step up to the plate. To mix metaphors there. I don't know why I brought up baseball. But I also need to step up to the plate and make sure that you guys have the opportunity to make your own odds. If you want into the action, do it at ProfitX. ProfitX, America's #1 sports prediction market, is a peer-to-peer sports prediction market where users play against each other instead of a sports book versus the house. You will almost always get the best price on any spread, money line, total, or player prop since you're playing against other people rather than the book. ProfitX offers dual currency system, either Profit Points or Profit Cash, and operates across 40 states. Use the promo code RGR and claim up to $200 in Profit Cash on all plays for the first 30 days playing on the site. ProfitX gives you the best lines in the space, and you can even set your own odds on specific wagers on your players, all at ProfitX. Go there and use the code RGR. Terms and conditions apply. Okay, so I think we've covered what the big ticket things are, the 10,000 foot, right? So let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's get into the phone booth matchups, things that you know they have to win. Where is it on a hand-to-hand combat level? What stands out to you?
Honestly, we just talked about the offensive line, but getting to a little bit more of the details is that today, Isaiah Pacheco, I'll bring this up because it's right here, from MHK, appreciate the super chat. Pop talked about patience, still need vision. Yes, and yes. He talked about himself needing patience. And if you guys watch the film review, you know that I showed multiple times where he's just not seeing it. It gets just he's not patient enough. He's just trying to get outside, or he's just trying to get to where it needs to go, or he's running to the back of his offensive line. Not good. Bad. It was a very bad performance of Isaiah Pacheco outside of the very first run, which wasn't his fault. 7 yards, you get Zach Bond right in your face. That's not your fault. You deal with it. You go outside. So the run game, guys, the matchup, this is the biggest thing that stands up to you guys. Appreciate the super chat because y'all talk about this. The New York Giants against the run through 2 games. 2 games. It's just 2 games. Again, via next gen stats. Allowed the third most rush yards of 10 plus at 12. 12 yards of 10 or more yards. 12 rushes of 10 or more yards. Allowed the third most rush yards over expectation, plus 79 yards. Teams are running for over 79 yards than the algorithm believes that will be there, but it's blocked. Second most yards allowed before contact, which is key for the Chiefs running backs because they need to get up to speed. They don't have the burst to take advantage. 2.07 yards. Second most rush yards per play allowed, 5.9. Nearly 6 yards of rush the New York Giants are giving up. I don't care what your philosophy is. I don't care if you only want to run in shotgun. It's over. This is not the 2019, 2020 NFL. Things are different. Andy, I'm looking right at you. Looking right at you, Andy. It's got to be under center. You have to go under center. You have to move tight ends around. You need to create more move blocks for your weak tight ends so they can get better movement, not just double teams one-on-one with them. You need to move them. You need to create physical push. Trey Smith, Kingsley, Creed, get their asses in gear and move people downhill to get Pop going, to get Kareem Hunt, and then bring in Bashard Smith because you need explosiveness. You desperately need it. And if there was a game to get Bashard Smith more touches against a defense that is going to allow explosive plays, it's this one.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And I love the fact, once again, folks, write it down. I didn't bring up the run game first. I absolutely love that. It's the key to getting physical and winning the game. And what's the other thing that they haven't done is get physical. Now, that's part of it. It sets everything else up. And even Patrick admits he's got to put things on guys more. He cannot play the percentages. He's got to actually hit things. That is true all over the place. And no more so than what we find out on Friday afternoon, that two of your receivers, including Xavier Worthy, practiced but are questionable.
Yeah.
I don't expect to see X at all. I think it would be a little bit of a rash decision, to be honest, given how much you need him for the season. Jalen Royals, maybe in my mind, has a little bit more percentage likelihood to play, but I'm still not banking on it. So you have the guys that you have. You got to use them. Juju, Tyquan, you got to bring in Remigio more to take advantage of when Kelsey's not out there. Now, that said, I felt like Kelsey actually moved a little bit better this week, better than week one even. And despite that inexcusable drop on the goal line, something that he doesn't usually do, he was open all day long. He's still able to juke guys. His almost what is a buddy of mine called it this way. He's got this like frat boy, drunken, lazy route running that lulls defenders to sleep so he can flip and run away from them. And he's got to continue to use that. But you can't overemphasize the lack of the wide receiver spots to put him in constantly. You got to use it more smartly. And I think this is the week you have got to just say, Tanya, you got to come in and run some routes. Even if I'm not throwing to you, got to run some routes so you're available.
I love it. I think that he's been out there a little bit, but why can't he run over routes like he was running in the preseason? Like he was open all the time. I understand that it's against different competition, but it's the same scheme. It's the same routes. Like let him run those concepts. And no offense to Noah Gray, Robert Tonyan's a better route runner. He is. And it's really, it's like this. You got Tonyan and you got Gray, who's more rigid. So I don't know why he's not running more routes, especially because they want to keep Travis on ice a little bit. And to your point about him moving like a frat boy, have you guys ever seen The Legend of the Drunken Master, one of Jackie Chan's original movies? This is a deep pull, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I'm a big Jackie Chan fan, and if you guys know what it is, he created his own style of kung fu. It's the drunken style where he's just all over the place, like he's drunk, and then all of a sudden he kicks your ass. That's what Travis Kelce's out there doing. That's what he feels like sometimes, where he just lulls you to sleep. And like you're saying, so again, he moved much better. He did a really good job of pacing his routes, of timing his routes, and finding those break points. And Patrick really was on the same page. We saw that with the deep shot-ish over the middle of the field on that play action pass where it's a deep curl. He throws the ball before Travis is open. He does the same thing on the touchdown that should have been. So the connection's clearly there. It's good. Another thing about the offense, that Tyquan Thornton, pretty damn good in this offense. He's open all the time. Like all the time. He's like open deep down the
field. Ain't nobody scared.
No. The secondary and the second level for the New York Giants can be had. Absolutely be had. The linebackers are bad. Their starters are hurt. That's why you can run the football against this team. But also, it's why you're going to be able to get those linebackers up with the play. A real, true, put the ball in the basket. In the basket and pull it out and then go to take the throw. You got to really, you guys, it grinds my gears so much to watch Patrick Mahomes here with the football, and then Kareem Hunt all the damn way over there. Like, it makes no sense why there's no real mesh point in this under center play action. emphasize the little things in practice, and you'll start to gain a little bit of respect. So Tyquan Thornton's been open. We know Travis Kelce's good. I believe they can use their tight ends in this football game specifically to maximize the middle intermediate parts of the field.
We have a double super chat from Matt. We're going to get to it right after this last point. Thank you, Matt. I don't want to make you wait. So bottom line for me, and for those of you who think we're too harsh or we don't like call out enough people, we've been saying that Patrick is just not doing his job when he bails out of pockets. These 2 games, he's out of there too early. He said the same thing yesterday. He admits, I left pockets too early. I need to stand in there and trust and deliver the ball. If he does that, they'd have won that second game. They might have won that first game. If he does it this week, they will dominate this game. That's what it comes down to. No matter how fast the pass rush is coming, if he trusts his O-line and he has the right game plan on, he will still be able to deliver the ball and get it out of there before the pass rush gets there. That is the fact. So as much as we blame and we talk about everything else, for the first time in quite a long time on this show, the game plan show, there's credible evidence that the quarterback has to improve in at least one facet, and that's it.
Yeah, multiple times. It's been not just that, but last couple of seasons, which creates bad habits. That's the big problem, is that it creates a bad habit. So to our points, Patrick Mahomes actually hasn't been pressured a ton. I believe the Chiefs are 28th in the NFL in pressures given up. I'm just going to pull it up real quick from Next Gen Stats because I had it up earlier and I don't know where it went. Let's see, QB pressures. No, maybe not. Either way, Patrick Mahomes has, they've given up 23 pressures. So 20th there in the NFL, which is way better. The pressure percentage is what's lower. That's what it was. Pressure percentage is at 29. Patrick Mahomes is the 29 least pressured percentage quarterback in the NFL. That's a great number to be at for this offensive line early on. Yes, it comes with the ball coming out quicker. It comes with some other things too. But if they actually start to trust, if that chemistry comes along, I think Kingsley is, I'm a little bit higher on his performance from last week than it seems like everybody else is, but that's because of the growth factor. The growth factor is where I'm really putting my money on this. And there's a lot of times where you see him get it in the snap. Like there was a rep where he's getting a double team with Creed and you see him relocate his hand underneath. That's the stuff that really is like, that's improvement hand usage because it improves your leverage. It improves everything. So there are some better things happening, some good things happening. And if the trust is there from Patrick, those guys are going to trust themselves. And that is just as important as Patrick trusting the offensive line and getting that done, because then everybody starts to believe in what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And Creed also spoke this week about having 2 new guys out there. They're still coming together as a group. And that does take a little bit more time. They've built in this schedule because Andy runs this because they're always playing deep into the postseason. So I think that it finally bit them in terms of they weren't able to pull these things out, but I do think they will get it right. We'll give you our predictions here in a minute after we deal with a couple of questions. And thank you to Matt. It's frustrating that Lamar and Allen can hand it off to Cook and Henry and then go 70 yards to the house, or dump it off to Shakur and Flowers and make them get 50 yards. Pat has neither of those things. That is true. And I agree with you, but it's also the nature of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. They're not going to give somebody 20 carries like Angler is talking about here. Yes, I remember that. That was desperation. Kareem Hunt can't take 20 carries anymore. I guarantee you. It will look like a slow die on a school bus is what it will look like. It will be bad. So I like that concept too. Let your skill players buy you yards, get your yak. Don't do all the heavy lifting through the air if you don't have to. And for the love of God, Patrick, don't lead the team in rushing again, okay? Can we just settle down, get your first downs, reset the chains? You don't need – there was at least 3 possibilities he could have got hit and knocked out last week. And I know he wants to prove a point that he's tougher than that, but I don't need him to prove that point. I need him to play the whole season, okay?
Yeah, it's fair, guys. And I think that Patrick – I've also promised this will be the last week that the run game is in one of my points for the game plan, because it's we're going to get a little bit more detail once we get more information on the season, once we have more stuff like that. But because it's been such a big focal point, we're definitely hitting that home this week for sure. And Patrick will have some of those players back at some point this year. Xavier Worthy, when he comes back, I mean, Jalen Royals, when he's healthy, can give you explosive plays. Rashard Smith can give you explosive plays. The problem is those two are rookies. Andy Reid doesn't want to put too much on rookies. Xavier Worthy's hurt. We'll see if he ever plays this week, what it looks like next week, the week after. Rashee Rice can also give you explosives, maybe not so much in the 50-yard bucket, but 20 to 30, absolutely. So there's room for this offense to get exponentially better. And I know that you guys are tired of hearing them say, we're this close. We're this close. We're really close, and we're not executing properly. Unfortunately, that is exactly what's happening because the plays are there to be had a lot of the times. It's more about in that moment, how did you practice the small details in practice? How did you go about making sure, okay, if I hold this, again, this play action pass, this fake right here, an extra half second, did I do my job? Did I get my footwork right? Did I get the right depth on my route? These little things add up. So I understand the frustration, absolutely, because the offenses seem to be run a lot better in Baltimore as well as Buffalo. They both seem to be run far better. And if you listen to Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator for the Bills, after he was asked a question about why the average at the target was so low, and he was like, it was the Dolphins to do a really good job of just like showing you one thing, changing it out, playing a lot too high. So we just said, fine, we'll hand the football off. It's really nice to be able to lean on a run game with it when a defense tries to force you to do so. Unfortunately for Kansas City, it has not been there for 3 years. It has been there for 3 years. So we'll see. That's all I can really say about it.
I have it on good authority that the Giants defense isn't worried about it either. Somebody talked to Javon Holland this week, and he's concerned about defending Kelsey. That's it. That's all they got to do. You take that guy away, they feel the offense is done. And I have that from someone who spoke to the player. So it's a complete difference that you got to get past and make sure that you are making people pay when they feel like that. Now, Matt had a second part as well. Then everyone acts like Josh and Allen are playing lights out. I think he meant
Lamar. Yeah.
But yeah, they're excelling what they're asked to do. That's the difference. Is they have a complete offense, not a West Coast offense that is so quarterback heavy.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Matt, thank you for your support. We really
Matt.
Appreciate it. We're trying to keep these to around half an hour. So we're going to run through the rest of these and just kind of give you some quick answers. When you pressure the New York Giants offensive line, they give up a lot of leverage, and the Chiefs defensive line need to keep bringing it. And you're going to get no shortage of that from Steve Spagnuolo. He's going to send people. He might even if they're up, he might get happy. I just want him to stay out of cover zero, okay? Send anybody you want. Can we do some zone blitz for the love of Christ? We don't have to go no safeties, okay?
It doesn't need to be this world Steve Spagnuolo lives in where it's cover zero 50% of the time. We don't need to see that. We don't need to see it. But just blitz here, blitz there. I think once a drive or twice a drive early on, just to keep them on their feet, right? To keep them on your toes.
Yeah. We hit Angler. Thank you, Angler, for earlier. Micah, nice to see you. Do you think that Miami would trade A-Chain to KC? No. And is it A-Chan now? I don't know what the hell his name is. But no, he is their running offense. Tyreek is their passing offense. I guess Waddle played okay. I don't think they're going to give up either of those plays. I just don't think it's smart business for them. Get rid of the quarterback and the coach before you get rid of either of the players.
I mean, I know everyone wants to think that teams will trade players, but when it comes to HN, he's a young, good player, yes, and also he's often injured. Guys, you want to trade for another guy who's going to get hurt all the time? I'm sorry, I understand, I do, I really do, but Miami's not trading him just because Ollie Gordon looked okay when he didn't get hit behind the line of scrimmage. Like, if Ollie Gordon isn't that good, like let's be really real about this. He's not very good.
My home run hitter Edwards is still on somebody's practice squad. Go get him if you want him. It ain't hard to go pick up a back if you want somebody.
Damian Martinez was just released from the practice squad of Seattle today. Go and sign him.
Yeah. Why the hell not? It makes no sense. Nice to see you, Gary. Thank you for being one of our mods. We appreciate you. Are the Chiefs getting better on the right side of the O-line or not? You mean this game? I don't know. I'm losing trust in Taylor.
I think I think Juwan played okay last week.
I
I
know.
think that the guy who didn't play very well last week was the guy you paid a lot of money to. And he's not earning that contract right now. So I think that they're currently playing worse than they did last year, but it's 2 games into the season. So hopefully Trey comes back with a better performance this week. They're gonna need it.
I hope so. Angler, thank you. More empty backfield sets with 5 wide would be nice sometimes too. Early when we're passing. Maybe, but you got to solidify so you can protect, because when you go empty, it just invites pressure and overload at that 5, maybe 6. If you don't have anybody in the backfield to protect Patrick, it's a 2-step and get the damn ball out. And they don't like to do that. If you look at the film breakdowns, they're just not running enough short routes. Even when they run double slants to the backside, Patrick's not getting there because it's just taking too long. The whole process, it's got to come faster. If you're going to go quick game, you got to go quick game. Not football related from Nikki, but I smoked my first pork butt yesterday. I literally melted in your mouth. Well done. If y'all missed Dan's cast iron skillet pizza, it made me hungry. Hell, I might go get that before this football game.
That's amazing.
It looked great. Now my wife's pissed, so she's going to make some pizza donut, I think, tomorrow. So thank you, Nikki. Sam, am I crazy for thinking that it's a must win even though it's week 3? No, you're absolutely not crazy.
They can't go to 0-3, guys. They can't. They cannot go to 0-3.
Nobody's built for that, not even them. That would wreck the confidence of too many young players. What's the health of Xavier? Iffy at best. I don't think that he plays. He's listed as questionable officially, at least as of this afternoon. Cody, thank you for the support, pal. Concerned with playoff hopes if they lose to the Giants and to LAC at 3-0. Yeah, and that's absolutely fair. It becomes a wild card situation kind of thing. So Cody had one other one directly to me, Chance, at a free agent, Marcus Yarns. I have not
Delaware.
I've not looked.
He's more of a pass catching back, and he's worse than Brashard Smith in my opinion. So that's me. I don't think he's built for NFL run game personally.
Gotcha. Okay, it's the magic time. You want me to go first, or you up?
You went first last week because I went first in the first week. So unfortunately, I was right about the Chiefs losing to the Eagles last week. I'm sorry, guys. It just turns out that way. No, not this week. Absolutely not. They can't go to 0-3. This is as desperate as a September Chiefs team is going to get. I heard a lot of people in the media, the guys on the press conferences. Short answers, quick answers. They're pissed off. They should be pissed off. They will be using that anger against the New York Giants on Sunday night football in New York. I know that I've never been a big Isaiah Pacheco fan, but he's got to have a big game. I think he's going to have a nice 70-yard rushing performance, probably mix in some Kareem Hunt there, some Brashard Smith. I think the Chiefs are going to win this football game 24-17 and get their season back on track.
I like it. Now, we didn't talk a whole lot about the Giants side of the ball this year. The big question mark for me is what are they going to do with Jackson Dart? Because I think they've been running him out to give him some kind of RPO/run looks. And if the Chiefs fall asleep, they'll let him run on him. And that will piss me off to no end. So I will put nothing past it. I would love to be as optimistic as you. I do think they get a win. But back and forth, hemming and hawing, stop and start. I do think they're going to have some big plays. I think they're going to look marginally better, but I don't think it's going to fix everything. But it's going to be enough to keep Mahomes upright. And that's the big thing for me. So I think they do get the W, but it's 23-20 on Sunday Night Football. I'm actually going to be in the Eastern time zone, same as Dan. So we're both going to be up late. It's going to be great. I'll be in a hotel, so it'll be ugly, but it's going to work. And we're going to have a blast. Do not miss it because I will have been traveling all day long. I will be having maybe the worst food that I've had in a month. So it should be really, really gritty. I'm going to be pissed off. You guys are going to love it. It'll be a ton of fun. So don't miss post game with us when we go live. Dan, any last takeaways for you?
Just hopefully this execution stuff gets figured out a little bit. And Darkness, appreciate the 2. I think it's a coming out party against the Giants. That would be huge. I think it would be hard for them to have like a real coming out party offensively because of the front 4. Unless Patrick is seeing everything, this defense is not good outside of the front 4. It's really, really bad. It's really bad. So it absolutely could be a big day offensively for them. But I think with some of the struggles that they've had with that defensive line, it might be, a little bit too much. I don't see them scoring as much as the Cowboys did last week. But I'm with you. I would be very happy to see that happen.
And lastly, from one of our mods, thank you, FLDB. I mean, Clyde's on the practice squad for a reason. Not because he's inexperienced. I don't think Clyde gives you anything if you were to bring him up anyway. But certainly neither do they, or they would have done it already, because that's, as you said, an easy answer. So, Lone Wolf, you're right. I shouldn't. Russ did put together a game last week, and I haven't mentioned him at all either. I just ain't scared. I'm sorry. That's just the truth. So play your game. If Spags defense plays like it did last week, Russ doesn't get nothing going. I'm not worried about that.
The Giants secondary, the Dallas Cowboys secondary is not as good as the Kansas City Chiefs. In that second game is what I'm more expecting. Noah Williams is going to get more playing time. Christian Fulton will not be playing in this football game. Right. Williams is a much better player. That'll be fun. It's going to be a fun matchup. I want to see him matched up with Malik Neighbors. I want to see how they do against this deep threat passing game, because that's what they want to do. They want to throw the ball over top. That's what Russell's really, really good at still. He's not great at the intermediate stuff because he doesn't really want to do that. But Wan'Dale Robinson has been great out of the slot. If he's matched up against Chamari Connor all day long, that's bad. If you guys see that a lot, this could be a lot closer and worse than it probably should be.
Yeah, that's why I've got it a 3-point game, folks. Let us know what you think. Put your predictions down in the comments. Make sure, if you want to get into the action and you are looking for a place to place bets, ProfitX is super cool. It's against each other. It's head to head. There's no house involved. It's great. So check it out. Use our code RGR if you would. Make sure you like and sub and hit that bell. We'll be with you post game. We do all kinds of other stuff. So if you don't know Dan's Twitter handle, it's in harm's way 19. Go get him. You can find me. I put out the rest of my league stuff, an article yesterday over on NFL 33. Go subscribe to that if you want to get in on it, because I will talk trash and not even trash. I will talk realistic downfalls of every team in this league, starting with the Bengals. It was kind of fun for me to do this piece, so I want more people to see it, so check it out. Anyway, have a great night. Dan, I know you got to see the fabulous punk rock foursome, Blink-182. Any takeaways from that or anything exciting this weekend?
I mean, it was fantastic. They were still great live at their age. They've been doing this a long time.
Easy.
My wife's favorite band. Hey, when you're singing all the time, when you're touring all the time, it takes a toll, obviously. But it was them and Alkaline Trio, my wife's favorite band. So it was great. Great venue in Cincinnati, honestly. They did a great job with the stage. It's outdoors, but I had a roof on top, so we got to sit down. It was really fun. Had a great time. But this weekend is college football, guys. I'm almost as locked in as I possibly can be for the draft cycle. We are getting scouting reports going, and I am starting to find my groove again. So it feels good.
Rock and roll. Watch it all. Have a great Saturday. We'll be with you Sunday night. Don't miss it. Thank you for being with us, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.